Welcome back to America Decides. I'm not sure if this is in your calendar, but in case it's not, the vote for the next chair of the Democratic National Committee, February 1st. Former Bernie Sanders campaign manager Faiz Shakir is the latest candidate to enter the race, and he joins us now. So, Faiz, it's great to see you. Do you have the 40 signatures necessary to even qualify for the remaining forums to be held to decide the DNC leadership?
Sitting on that news, Major.
Okay, here we go.
Sit on that news.
Here we go.
It's so I got a team very, very close.
Very how close, numerically?
I'll hold that.
37, 38, 4?
Very close.
Very close. In other words, you will have them.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood, so you're not even certain about that. Okay. There's only 2 weeks left. There's a forum today.
Yes.
You're not going to be able to participate.
Let me
Why
in,
so
Major.
late?
No.
Why so late? Seriously,
Yes.
you had this decision before you. You were asked by reporters smarter than me about this several weeks ago. You said you weren't going to do it. What changed?
So, I mean, I'm not hungry for a title and ambition. I'm enjoying doing what I'm doing, Major. But as I watch this race go, in my mind, the DNC chair in this moment with Trump, I'm just like, you got to be out there with brand new ideas to speak to working class people who didn't vote with us in the last election cycle. What do you got? What do you got? What are you going to offer? What's going to make somebody turn their head? Is anyone watching the February 1 date? You introed with, does anyone know what's going on? So I'm going to try to compel some ideas into this. Hey, there's a vision of a Democratic Party. In my mind, no surprise to you, Major, that I care about grassroots-ism. What does it mean to be a member of the Democratic Party right now? $25 check, maybe. That's it, right? Can you do something else? Why don't we do Super Bowl watch parties, for instance? Be a part of a civic organization. Come and join us. Get a beer, watch the game. Also, when you go on strike, we're going to be with you. What do you need? You need pizzas for that? You want support? Can we let the community know to come and stand in solidarity with you? You see what I'm getting at now? Being part of the Democratic Party would mean something, and we're showcasing our values.
And Ken Martin, Martin O'Malley, Ben Wickler, the leaders in this race, and all of our reporting today says they are still the leaders. You've got a long way to go, if any chance at all.
I think Ken's
they're just basically circling around the same notions, the same tactical approaches. There's nothing new you hear from any of those.
They've run state parties. They're good people, Wisconsin and Minnesota, and I certainly believe they could run competently a DNC bureaucracy. Now, this moment calls for more than that, because I think in this moment, many people are wondering, who speaks for Democrats? What's the brand of the Democratic Party? I'm not going to say I'm a magic elixir, but I do believe I can bring some vision ideas of speaking nationally to what a Democrat is, realigning it with working class roots, that is our proud historical lineage, and to suggest that there's some ideas out there that would cause people to turn their heads and say, oh, that's interesting. I haven't seen the Democratic Party do that. And including, I just think this has been a great pro-labor movement in the last 3 or 4 years. When Joe
More
Biden,
labor, agitation, organizing, and sort of flex than we've seen in years.
And I'll just note this, when Joe Biden went out to a picket,
picket line,
yes,
right. UAW?
For UAW in Detroit, DNC didn't do anything around that. You didn't organize around it. When Boeing was on strike during
didn't amplify it, in other words.
When Boeing was on strike during the Kamala Harris campaign, no notions of talking about it, affiliating with it, saying anything about it. What a great layup, by the way, Major. Like, here's Boeing workers fighting a company, has doors falling off airplanes, financialization of that damn company that is interested in stock buybacks and dividends more than it is in safety. And then the workers go on strike and say, we care about this company and making it safe again. And where are we? Where are we? Those are just notions we can change. We can fix that.
Faiz, I want to ask you about this. I want to give you some rough numbers. New Jersey, 400,000. Texas, 400,000. Illinois, 400,000. New York, 900,000. California, 1.9 million. Those are the vote differentials
right?
from Biden to Harris.
Yes.
In blue states where this campaign was not engaged on the ground or in the air. What is your tactical takeaway from those numbers?
Well, first you have to analyze why. So what's your first answer, right, is what's the problem? Why did they sit out? The Democratic Party is held to a higher standard than the Republican Party with a lot of working class people. And there's a reason for that. They think that it is the Democratic Party's job to stand with our economic livelihoods. They hold us to that standard. Say, hey, when my necks are on the line, I expect you to fight for us.
And scream.
And when you don't, I penalize you. So when you look at some of those numbers that you just mentioned, it's a drop-off of people saying, I'm upset. I don't see you sticking your necks out in friction with the people who are hurting me, whether they are Amazon or Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos. The irony of this, and the sad part about this, Major, is the Biden administration did actions that, Zuckerberg, Amazon, a bunch of those people didn't like. And yet politically, Most voters did not know about it because we were not engaged in the friction to let them know. That, to my mind, is a political failure.
Friction. There's some friction between the number 35 and 40. Here's hoping that for your candidacy, you get to that number of 40, because if you don't, none of this even matters. Faiz Shakir.
Thank you. Major's checked out of this race. He's done.
Great to see you. Thanks for coming in.